Hi, friend. Welcome back to Elijah's Space. This is my channel. And if you don't already know, I'm a counselor, life coach, and someone who's deeply passionate about helping people connect, heal, and grow. I know how big of a role trust plays in counseling. And the truth is, without trust, it's hard to create meaningful, transformative spaces for people to open up. But trust isn't just about being a good listener. It's also about how we connect and show up as professionals and as human beings. So I want to share some of the most effective counseling hacks I've learned and practiced for building trust and influence, not manipulation, but influence that empowers others. First hack is active listening. We hear this all the time, right? Be a good listener. But I'm going to challenge you to take it further, to actively listen with intention, presence, and curiosity. So what does that look like? Let's say someone shares their story with me. Instead of just nodding or saying, I make it clear to them that I'm engaged through my body language, eye contact, and verbal acknowledgement. I pause before speaking, reflect their feelings back to them, and ask open-ended questions. It might sound like this. Wow. So it sounds like you've been feeling really overwhelmed trying to balance everything over the past few months. What's been the most difficult part for you throughout that time? Here's why that works. People feel heard on both a surface and emotional level. It sends this message: I'm paying attention, I care, I want to understand you. That's how trust begins. Hack 2. Be non-judgmental. This one, that space free of judgment, is truly the foundation of trust. When a person comes to me, they're often carrying so much shame, guilt, fear, and the biggest question on their mind is, will you judge me if I say this out loud? To create a safe, non-judgmental environment, I lean into genuine neutrality. My mantra in sessions is simple. This isn't about my preferences, beliefs, or opinions. It's about their story and their truth. You know what's incredible? When you set aside judgment, you give people the freedom to tell stories they've never been brave enough to tell before. Here's a tip. When someone shares something raw, instead of reacting emotionally or jumping to advice, say something validating like, thank you for trusting me with that. It makes so much sense that you'd feel that way given everything you've experienced. This takes practice, but trust me, it's transformational. Hack 3, empathy over sympathy. Empathy is one of my favorite words. To me, empathy is world-changing. It's the art of stepping into someone else's shoes and feeling their experience, not from the outside as an observer, but deeply and fully like it's your own. Here's the thing. Sympathy says, I feel bad for you. But empathy says, I'm here with you, feeling this beside you. The difference is huge. How do I actually practice this? By grounding myself before every session and reminding myself that I'm here to feel with, not feel sorry for. Empathy might look like me saying, I can feel just how heavy this is for you right now, and I'm glad you're letting me walk through this with you. When we truly empathize, we let someone know they're not alone in their fears, grief, or challenges. And that connection builds trust unlike anything else. Hack 4 is confidentiality. This one's essential, non-negotiable, really. People need to feel safe before they share things that matter, and for them to feel safe, they need to know what they say stays between us. When I begin any relationship with a new client, I always lay out what confidentiality looks like. For example, what I hold private versus the rare exceptions where I'm legally required to share, like if there's a risk of harm. Being transparent about these boundaries up front makes sure there's clarity and trust. And honestly, confidentiality is a sacred responsibility. If I ever needed to break that trust for safety reasons, I do it with them, having a conversation about what's needed. That's how we build trust, even in tough moments. Hack 5, be consistent. We live in a world that's constantly changing. It feels like the ground is always shifting, and that can make people feel insecure. As counselors, we have the beautiful gift of being a steady, grounding force. You don't have to say or do the perfect thing, you just have to show up authentically over and over again. For me, being consistent means I'm reliable. My clients can count on me being on time and prepared. I follow through on what I say. If I tell someone I'll check in with them next session or look into a resource for them, I always follow through. And I show up emotionally, holding space for their journey and their story, no matter where they are at. Consistency isn't flashy, but it speaks volumes. When people see that you show up and don't let them down, their trust in you will evolve into something really powerful. If you're watching this video, I'm guessing you're someone who wants to build real, meaningful connections with others, whether it's your work, your relationships, or passion for helping people. And I want you to know that trust isn't about being perfect, it's about being present, intentional, and authentic. That's where influence begins, not through controlling others, but through empowering their growth. See how active listening, empathy, non-judgment, confidentiality, and consistency transforms the way you connect to others and how they help you build authentic trust. And hey, don't forget, I'm here for you too. If this video spoke to you, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, remember, building trust takes time, but every single interaction is a chance to create healing and connection. You've got this.